Oh, she's alive. Barely. Trying to get these guys to connect. Tonight's going to be an interesting conversation. Granted. It's so hot here. You know it's hot when you have air conditioning and it's still hot. There we go. They just connected. And so I'm like, oh, buddy, it's so hot. Which, I'm just excited. I'm excited to talk about this. It's almost like getting something off your chest, you know, that you've been wanting to talk about for a while. And plus it helps other people. I've always been an open book. All my life, you could ask me anything and I would tell you. And if I didn't want to tell you, I would tell you that too. But most of the time, I answer questions. But if you're coming in to this, go get a Q-tip. Get a Q-tip. And just keep it. There's a reason. And I'll talk about the Q-tip later. But I actually shared that I was going to go live and sharing my mistakes. And also, oh, hold on. I have a list of mistakes from, oh, where is it? You know how you like write something and then you put it somewhere? Here it is. I'm also cooking beef tips and gravy, and it just got done right before. So I have this printout as well. And if anybody wants this, just send me an email, sohoposhshop@gmail.com, and I'll give this to you. But this is basically the top 10 mistakes new resellers make. And I'm just, if you want it, I'll send it to you. I'm not asking for anything. I never will ask for anything. Well, actually, I will ask that you follow me and ask that you like my videos and things like that. But I will never have you pay for anything because I've never had to pay for anything. And the people that I have learned from instilled that in me. You know, where I'm not going to make you pay for the top brands of 2025 or anything like that. We're just going to learn that as we go. And they always change. So what was current in January, we're already in June, you know, things change. So I have been reselling for over 20 years. I did not get serious until about 3 years ago when my job became, I always say my job was never unbearable. I loved my job. I loved the people who I dealt with. I do not mean staff. It is the staff that became impossible. It was the pressure, the clique, the, I don't know, the ignorance, the lies, the deceptions, all that. Everybody had a closed eye to it. Like you couldn't talk about it to anybody because nobody, number one, there's fear of certain people. And you know, it just was like, I could no longer function in that atmosphere. And I knew I wanted to go. My goal date was January of 2026. So 3 years ago, I started getting serious with reselling. And I said, if I want out, I'm gonna have to hustle my butt off. I work 12-hour days. I work midnight sometimes. I work daytime sometimes. I get called in for things. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of drama. But I just did it. I just hustled. On my days off, I went to thrift stores and I listed. I literally did nothing else. I worked, I saw my family, I thrifted, I resold, and repeat. And it went on for 3 years until it got to the point where, because I was doing the math and I wish I would have kept I kept a midnight turn. I had a lot of free time where I could just sit down and do some things. And I would run the numbers. I would run the numbers all the time. And it came to the point where the numbers worked. Like as long as I kept the hustle, and you know, eBay and Poshmark and Mercari and all those didn't fall into the ocean, we didn't have another COVID, I could do it. So on January 4th, I left my profession gladly. Um, it was not the way I wanted to leave. It was not, um, it just wasn't. And I just wanted to crawl out underneath the door is really what I wanted to do, but I was pushed into a situation. I didn't want to do it, but I did. And it was apparent that nobody else wanted me to do it either. So I kind of feel bad that I didn't stick to my guns and just say I want to leave. I want to work that day, that 12 hours, and I just want to leave. That was my fault for not sticking to my guns. So that's a little bit about me. So I know what it is to make mistakes. And this video is to help you not make the same mistakes. Learn from my mistakes so you don't make them. Okay? So my number one mistake. And you know what, actually okay, my number one mistake was buying things that did not sell. And if you look back in my videos, you're going to see a video that I talk about 11 tubs of clothing that I had to unload. I had 11 bins of clothing that wouldn't sell. Now, a lot of that was ignorance on my part. The other part was that I was unlearned. I didn't know about comping. I didn't know how to research. I didn't know how to do those things. So, ooh, that Talbots looks pretty. Oh, I like that J. Crew. Oh, that's whatever, but it's got sparkles on it. Oh, it'll sell. It'll sell. No, no, and no. And in fact, it's almost the opposite that I have found. Sometimes the most obscure and unique, eclectic clothing is what has brought me in the most money. Even if it isn't like a brand, a popular brand. And that is why comping, and we all say it, comp your items. Don't go into a thread and ask somebody what you think it should sell for. Comp it out yourself and learn. I think one of the hardest things when you are comping out something is to learn how to do it in a store. Everybody's going to look at me. Everybody's going to know I'm a reseller. Honey, they already know you're a reseller. They already know. Trust me, the way you go through clothes, the way you look at things, the way you hang in the store forever, and the way you rush the racks. Yes, they know you're a reseller. Pull out your phone and comp things. I am now in a position, excuse me, where I have no problem telling people that I'm a reseller. I have told the very high-end thrift stores that I go to that I am a reseller. And the funniest thing happened. Before I told them, they barely talked to me, barely said anything. They were friendly, you know, business. I don't know what's in my throat. But after I told them I was a reseller, it was the weirdest thing. They're all like super friendly now. And they probably knew it. I mean, I don't know how they wouldn't. But listen, I don't have my phone because my phone is right there. But if you come across an item, pull out your phone, pull it out. I don't care if you pretend like you're talking to your daughter and make like jokes and, you know, like, oh, haha, that's funny, you know, whatever. Pull out your phone and comp the item. Do it in eBay. Set up your phone that your eBay only shows sold comps. That's what mine is. Every time I go to my eBay on my phone, if I put something in a search, it's going to come up sold. Nothing else. I don't have to go to the sidebar or anything. And look what it's selling for. Then you also want to check the sell-through rate, but I'll be honest, I don't do that as much. I really don't. I check my comps. In fact, today there's a whole lot of stories there. I haven't been to my local Goodwill in a long time. And it's the one where everybody knows me, and I'm friends with some of them. One of the older gentlemen had a stroke. He was in the hospital. I went and visited him, whatever. So I went in today, and the last rack came out that I was getting ready to leave. And I said, oh, let me look. It was crazy. Tommy Bahama, Tommy Bahama, Tommy Bahama women's. Then there was, I should have left them up here. but there was one, two, three, four brands that came out that were right after the Tommy Bahamas. I had a feeling that they were good, but I wasn't sure. I didn't have time to comp. Put them in my cart, went around the corner, comped them out. I kid you not, $4.58, resell 120, 160, 60, 80. Brands I didn't even know. If you are not comping, you're missing out a lot. It is a number one rule. You have to comp. Do not be like me with 11 bins full of clothing that you have to sort through, that you have to remove off of your listings, that you have to take to a resale shop, that you have to redonate. It was such a loss, but I definitely learned. So learn from me. One of the things too is find people to follow. I have a list of people that I followed in the beginning. I had top 3 guys. I always called them like my trio, my triangle, whatever. And I followed them all the time. Anytime they posted, I was there. If I wasn't there, I was on replay. And that was K-Way, Chris at Peak, and Surf's Up. Now I have broadened myself since then. I also am not on there all the time. Hold on 1 minute. Alexa, off. Hopefully she heard me. That was my timer for my food. And I follow different people now for different reasons. I follow Justin Resells. Number one, he's local to me. He almost is a news commentary of eBay, and because I think he only sells on eBay. And of course he has his own product that he also talks about very little, but Commonwealth Picker. Tuition Ain't Cheap. I follow her not all the time, but because I want to jump into cosmetics and things like that. And she knows what she's doing there. You know, she knows that like I know clothes, you know, like I know tea, because I'm a tea influencer as well. The Loot and Loot and Company. Those are 2 of the new ones that I just actually started following, and they follow me back. Yeah, you want to follow people. Don't do it on your own. Please don't do it on your own. Know that you're going to make a mistake, and you can go to certain groups, and you can go to people. You can come to me. I don't care. You can anytime send me an email, shoot me, whatever, and you can ask a question. But please do not ask me how much you should sell an item for, because I'm not going to tell you. And that goes to another mistake. Don't ask a question and think you're going to get the answer that you want, especially if it has to do with, is this item legit, and how much should I price this for, or is this worth picking up? You have the tools, use them. Use your phone. Use your phone. And only in very, 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 very rare situations will you not find the item. I'm a stickler on it. I am such a stickler on comping things out. So don't buy what's pretty and cute. Comp it out, buy what sells. Don't buy it just because it's on clearance and it's $1 or $2 and think that you're going to make a lot of money off of it. Not unless you comp it, not unless you know what sells. Don't do it your own way. And what I mean by that is when you follow people, follow them, but take a little bit from each one of them. I had a person once in my life who used to say, eat the chicken, spit out the bones. And it's kind of gross, but it is a good mental look at, take the good from all the people that you're going to follow. And you don't have to follow the people I follow. Find your own niche. You know, if you sell shoes, there's like a niche. In fact, The Loot is really good for shoe, and Dealing with Dalton is another one really good with shoes. You know, you're going to find your own. It's so simple. Go on YouTube, reselling shoes, and a whole bunch of things should come up. Or, you know, reselling quilts or reselling mom's brooches or something. It'll come up. But what you want to do is you want to take from all of them and create your own, which I hope that I've done, because I have learned so much from so many people, and I have incorporated it into who Soho Posh is and where I want Soho Posh to go. Don't think that you are there, okay? I don't care who you are never there, because number one, there's always someone more there than you. And number two is, in reselling, things are constantly changing and constantly moving. And you don't want to think that you're there and miss a step and fall down the ladder. You just want to keep going up the ladder. You know, there's not a top to the ladder. It just keeps going. And you're going to learn new things, and things change. And there are people that I follow that are up on trends, that are up on what's happening in Poshmark or what's happening on eBay. Things will come out and somehow they'll know about it long before anybody else, and you can learn from them. Or eBay's acting a certain way and you don't understand, and lo and behold, there it is, the guy you've been following for 2 years, and he brings up what's going on. Now for me, don't jump on every bandwagon. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times if you're going to follow somebody, sometimes they're affiliates and they're selling things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to jump on the bandwagon unless it's perfect for you. Again, eat the chicken, spit out the bones. If you're not ready to do something, if you're not ready for a spreadsheet, you know, which it took me a little bit to get a spreadsheet, and I do, and I use Jason's, and I love it. I don't use Nifty, I use Flip, but that doesn't mean forever. But for me, it's where I am. You need to make your own individual choices on things. Just to resell, like I said, he sells his own inventory sheet, I think it is, and it is amazing. But for me, it just isn't what I could use right now. So don't be jumping on every bandwagon until you're ready to jump. Don't get an eBay store until you're ready to get one. And there are videos out there, you're going to get to a certain point where you're going to be spending as much money in fees as it costs to have a store. You might as well have the store, because there are benefits for having the store on eBay. You get like kickbacks so that you can buy some eBay products. You also can list more items. So at that point, that is when you want to get an eBay store. Not because A, B, C, D, or E says you should, but when you are ready to do it. So don't jump until you're ready to jump, okay? The facts, figure it all out. Learn from other people's mistakes. So let's talk about another one of my mistakes. I learned this actually about a year ago. I had a girl who, there's two things here, but I had a girl who wanted to return a pair of pants. And I have learned with eBay, it doesn't matter if you offer returns or not, I do, but eBay's going to tell the person that they can return it. And eBay sent me a notice, the item has been returned. Please refund your buyer. Went to the mailbox, the item wasn't there. So I wrote, item not there, because it wasn't. I didn't give it any time or anything. I didn't wait a day. I did it right away. She filed a fraud claim with her bank against me. eBay shut down my sales for, not my sales, but my money, until the bank could enter in and figure out what was going on. And sure enough, the pants came the next day. Now I'm stuck. I can't refund her. I have to wait. And that took, I think that happened in November of last year, like November of the year before, and it took till January 2024 before it all got settled. And of course it went in her favor, and guess what? eBay fined me $20 to pay for the bank investigation. So if something hasn't arrived yet, give it a day. You're not going to get penalized for waiting a day. Shipping. You want to ship on time. If you cannot do next day shipping, that's fine. But make sure you don't have next day shipping or 1 day shipping. And if you can only do 2 days, then you put it on there. I had an incident. I still say the post office almost destroyed my business last year. Our post office lost its mind. It was insane. we went 2 and 3 days without mail. Even if I did scheduled pickups, they wouldn't pick it up. I had to go every day for about 8 months. In fact, just recently, I have started to put, if I only have a couple items, put it in my mailbox. But every day I was going about 12 miles away to the post office, and not to my post office. They had to call in the postmaster general. They had to fire people. It was insane. It was just crazy. And I can't even explain to you like how many days, like I have next day or 1 day delivery, and it would take 2 or 3 days. And then even if they picked it up, it would be 3 days before it was even marked that it was delivered or received. It was so, I don't know. And it's still not 100%. It's still really bad. From what I understand, they should have divided our area and put me with the post office that I go to, you know, and divided my area, but they didn't. Don't ever think you can't be wrong. Don't take it personal. That's where this comes in handy. This was actually something that Chris at Peak said to me, and it's a Q-tip. Quit taking it personal. It's business. I can't tell you how many times I have used that phrase in my life. I run my HOA here. I was in charge of a lot of things at work. Quit taking it personal. Keep a Q-tip. Take a Q-tip. This is actually downstairs in my area where I pack, and it's taped on my bulletin board. Q-tip. Quit taking it personal. Just recently, I saw a woman in one of the threads that I'm in, and she was upset that somebody was trying to return something and she had no returns. And of course we told her it doesn't matter. eBay's going to make you return it. How am I going to get my shipping back? Well, you're not, but they're not, if, you know, it's for fit, and it didn't fit. It was something that wouldn't fit. And she was just like adamant, like, I want my $20 back for shipping, and it cost me $20. And I'm like, stop. You're taking it personal. It's not business. Stop taking it personal, make it business. Take the refund, get it back, and resell it. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. And when it's a do not fit, or I got one that bought by mistake, there was another one, you don't refund their shipping. So you make a little bit of money on it, nothing big or anything like that. But you know, if you do your figures and you look, you're gonna make a little bit of money off it. You're not losing. But yeah, you can be wrong. And if somebody writes you and says, hey, you have cotton material in this, but it says it's polyester, you know, what's up with that? Oh, that's my bad, my mistake. Thank you so much for noticing that. And I list a lot of items, and I use, you know, but if I make a mistake on one, it just carries over to all the other platforms. So just slow down, be careful, read what you're doing. I don't like the AI on eBay right now. Number one, you have to split it up into paragraphs. I don't feel it's personal, it's blocky. I don't like it. So until it gets a little bit better. Yeah, arguing over an eBay return is not going to help you at all. You're going to get that return back. It's how you handle it. You want to worry about customer service, okay? Yeah, and I wrote it out again about don't be afraid to comp things out in public or even at a garage sale. I have never had anybody say anything negative to me when I have been comping things out. And maybe I'm getting looks, I don't know. But yeah, just know that don't be afraid. And also when you're at garage sales, don't be afraid to ask for a price. My daughter is the most awkward person at a garage sale. She's just, it's weird because she's very outgoing and very friendly, but she is unbelievably awkward at garage sales. Like she just wants to go in and go out. She doesn't want to look. She doesn't want to touch. She doesn't want to talk to people. She'll say hi. That's about it. And I have to laugh, and she'll be like, ask him how much it says. I'm like, you ask him, you know, but ask people, like if it doesn't have a price on it, or if the price is a little bit above what you want to pay, ask them. If they say no, you're holding firm, okay, fine. You know, And don't have an attitude about it. Don't do that. Oh yeah, I did that one already. Connecting. Reselling can be lonely. I am a single income household, and by that I mean I am single. I don't have anybody to help me. I don't have anybody to talk over a problem. I don't have anyone to help me put things together. It's just me. And I'm okay with that, but it's lonely sometimes. And so I do this. I connect with people. And usually my buddies are here, but you know what? It's like 7:30. It's very hot outside. They're probably in a pool or finishing up dinner, whatever. But I wanted to get this done. Number one, I like the natural light, and I just wanted to get it over and talk about it because you guys can all watch it on replay. It's good. And plus I post it on YouTube and TikTok as well, because I'm trying to do that. Oh, in the beginning, don't expect too much. Don't think you're going to get into this and think it's going to be like $3,000 months. It's not. Set small goals, small goals. And if you don't reach them, that's okay. Maybe reevaluate, or maybe just hold on to that goal. When I first started being serious, I wanted to sell 5 items a day. That was my goal. That didn't happen for probably about 8 months. You know, I could have if I gave everything away, but don't expect too much and set small goals. I started off wanting 5. I got to 1. I wanted 1. I wanted to make 1 sale a day. That was okay. And then after that started happening on a steady basis, I jumped to 5. And like I said, it took 8 months to get to 5. I now sell about 10 items a day, sometimes more. That's my goal right now. I'm looking to up that to 12 to 15. I don't know which way I'm going, but yeah, it's like, yeah, don't expect too much. It is a job too, and expect it to be a job. Expect it to get hard. Expect rough patches in the road. Just expect. And don't think you're just going to have smooth sailing. And don't think that other people are going to constantly do your work for you, because they're not. You've got to learn. You've got to do it yourself. You know, when I sit here at 11 o'clock at night and I'm pushing myself to just list that 1 more item so that I can hit my goal of how many I want to list a night. Like, I'm going to do it before midnight. I'm going to get this done. And do it. Get it done. Make plans for yourself. You know yourself in your community. You know what sells best. You know if it's garage sale season where you are, or if you don't have them, estate sales, thrift stores, you know, and search them out, because there are thrift stores beyond Goodwill. And yeah, another mistake I made was sending an item to the wrong person. Actually, I sent 2 items to the wrong person. Yeah. That happens, especially when you start selling more and more and you're not paying attention. And then you stick it in, you put the label on it, and you're not thinking about it. And then all of a sudden that first notification comes. Do not have them send them to each other. Have them return them to you, and you can either refund them, which is probably the perfect thing to do, or hopefully they come around the same time and you can just flip it around and get them going into their right directions. I have so done that. Another thing, okay, holiday, Christmas time, Q4, make sure you have enough supplies, because I guarantee you, if you don't, you're gonna be out of luck. My first big year, I didn't have enough poly bags. I ended up having to pay a lot locally to buy poly bags to mail my items in, because I didn't have enough. Ran out of tape, had to borrow some from my son. Yeah, it was quite the mess. I can tell you this year, I'm set. I've already ordered my bags. I've ordered my plastic bags. I've ordered my bags that I put the clothing in. I have enough tape. I'm already ready for Q4. It's never going to happen again to me, and I hope it never happens to you. I'm trying to think what else. There isn't a lot. Well, hold on. The other mistakes. I made this list last night. So this is the sheet that if you want it, I will send it to you so you can keep it, hang it up on your whatever, just to remind yourself, you know, don't do that. Not researching before buying. Comp. Is there anybody out there that can make a little animated comp? Not Pac-Man, but you know what I mean? Because resellers, we always talk about comping. Can we give it a personality? Is there anybody out there that can do that? I'm just curious. Oh, ignoring the item's condition. Don't ever do this. Don't ignore the condition of an item. Don't toss it, because you can still sell it. I have sold a ton of items, being honest. It has a rip here. The pocket is, you know, torn. The button is missing or broken. Just be honest about it. Put it out there. Lower the price a little bit. It'll sell. Trust me, it will sell. Bad photos. Oh my gosh, people. And number one, I don't like stock photos. Don't use stock photos. People like to see what they are buying. Show them the item that they are going to buy. I get asked that all the time. Is this the item I'm going to receive? Yeah. Yes. Why wouldn't it be? But they're used to people putting up stock photos. One thing that Photo Room has started doing, which I really like, and I haven't incorporated it a lot, but how I plan on using it is I'm going to do my photo, the close-up of the tag, like it's here, the tag, and then I'm going to do the AI with the person, the image of the person with it on, and the rest of my pictures. But I will never put up a stock photo. You will never see that happen. Make sure you have enough lighting on your pictures. Get rid of the shadows. There are tons of videos out there. You can look at my setup and past videos to see how to set it up. Again, you don't need anything great. A couple light stands, some light bulbs, maybe a couple, you know, little, I don't know, what? I totally lost my train of thought. I'm a photographer. What are those called? Like the billows and, you know, to direct the light. My setup is unique because I'm actually using the light that's on top of in the ceiling as one of my lights, and it works for me. And I also have a window behind me. Do not ever place your items like at the window. Don't ever shoot into the light. It will not work for you. It will be very bad. Don't do that. Descriptions, vague or incomplete. I actually have a template that I copy and paste into, well, I actually have templates on eBay now. But when I first began, I had a template and it was in Pages. And I would copy it and paste it into every listing. Every listing had a little bit about me, had a place for the title. It had a section for the measurements. And then there was a section about the item. Always let people know what they're buying. Whenever I go to look at something and I just see the title and then I go down to the description and there's like nothing there, nothing. It's like, come on, do better, do better. You want to make a living at this, right? It's a job. You've got to do good. You've got to be up here. Got to be up here. Not understanding your platform fees. Big deal. Big deal. You have to know where you're at and why. I know sometimes on eBay, I get notices from them because of a return rate. And you have to be careful of your return rate because then eBay will raise your fee a little bit. eBay does, but eBay's in its own little world. Poshmark is 2%, right? 20%. No return policy or clear terms. Yeah, don't do a no return policy. I'm telling you right now, number one, it makes you look brassy. It doesn't look right. And it just, I don't know, it gives a wrong appearance. Don't even allow returns. Allow them. You don't have to pay for the shipping back to you, but allow returns. It will change your business, I promise. Inconsistent listing habits. If you list one item a day, list one item a day. If you're at 5 a day, list 5 a day. But continually list. Keep it going. We all don't know about the algorithms of these sites, but it just seems like if you just keep active and keep going, it just seems to help. I don't know why. We all don't know why. Stockpiling too much inventory, Caroline. Just saying. I have a friend who hasn't listed yet, and she has all this great stuff. She just found some great shirts just a few days ago. List them. List your items. Now, what happens with me right now, I have 6 bins of clothing already stored up for winter because I only list during the season. So I won't start listing my winter till like probably end of August, September. But I have 6 bins ahead of me, and it's so overwhelming, but I'll get it done, you know? And plus 2, a little bit of that is if a COVID hits or something happens, I've got 6 bins of clothing. If I can't get to a thrift store, I'm good. And ignoring customer service, we talked about that. Answer your stuff. Don't ignore people. I know some people don't like to respond. I respond. I pretty much respond to everything. I respond to every offer, even if it's a low ball offer. And I actually have a little, I'll post it here, and it says, no thanks, it's fairly priced. So I always I don't write it like that, but I just say, thank you for your offer. I feel that my item is fairly priced, or sometimes I will actually get the retail price on it. Hey, the MSRP on this item is $179. I kind of feel my asking price of $29 is fair, and just leave it at that. Most of the time people buy it. Sometimes people don't. You don't have to give your stuff away. There will always be a buyer. If you're comping it out, you're pricing it fairly, you've got great pictures, good descriptions, you've got it made. You're doing 120% better than most people out there. And that's all you need to know. So that is it. Connect with people, connect with me, and let me know. Let me know if I missed anything. Add to this. Eat the chicken, spit out the bones, you know? I kind of like that saying. Maybe I'm gonna, I don't know. But oh my gosh, if there's anybody in there that can make a chomp, 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 but comp. It is probably one of my biggest pet peeves is people who want you to do the work for them. And it comes off that way, and I'm sure that it isn't that way, but that's how it comes off. And when you belong to a forum or something and you're constantly, you know, how much would you sell this for, you know, or that, comp it out. And honestly, I think, you know, we should just stop responding to those people, period, and let them figure it out. What is that? You can lead a person to water, but you can't make them drink. I don't know. Is that something? So that is it. I had quite a day, and I hope you guys have a great night. I don't know how long I have talked, but I have beef stew to take care of, beef tips and gravy, and I have to cook the noodles tonight because I volunteer thrift tomorrow. I told the manager that that is what I do, is I volunteer thrift, and it's true. I do my job, but I'm walking around. So, hey, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I talked about you though. I mentioned your name. I mentioned your name under number 9. Stockpiling too much inventory. And then I kind of went, Carol, like that. I don't know why nobody sees my notifications. I wonder why. Maybe because I'm not like big enough yet. I don't have enough followers. I don't know, but I'll hang out. I have nothing else to do. That's not true. I do have to, I do have some things I have to list, and I have to find. So I want to put this on top of my computer, my monitor. I do what they call a clamshell, and my my actual computer's over here, and it goes on this monitor that does not have a camera. Well, actually it does, but it wouldn't work. So I want to put it up here, but I don't want people to see what's in the background. I can't tell you how many of those bifold things I have seen in the last 3 months. We all know what's going to happen now, right? I'm not going to see any. Oh, good. I know, I even said, I said, she just found some really amazing shirts. She's got to get them out there. Go, girl, go. Hey, and if you want this, just shoot me an email. This is like the top 10 list of new seller mistakes. 10 mistakes new resellers make. And I'll send it to you. Just a PDF. It's not a big deal. But Soho Posh Shop, SHOP, @gmail.com. I couldn't get just Soho Posh. It would have been so nice. So much easier. But you can rewatch this. I wanted to tell my story, but I didn't. But I'll tell you my story now. I went to my Goodwill here in town that I haven't been to in a long time. And when I walked in, I saw a lady, and she was like, she had her cart, and she had a big basket, and she was like shoving everything down into the basket. And then she had some kind of like a bicycle or something. And yes, you should. And where was I? Okay. And I don't know if you're like I am, but I notice behavior. It's just because I think of the profession. And I did not mean to get behind her. I just was looking at men's clothing, and I noticed that she was putting things in her purse, and it was really making me mad. I cannot stand shoplifters. I just cannot. The only time I have any empathy at all for shoplifter is if they're buying food because they have nothing to eat, and at Christmas time when they're stealing gifts for their kids. That is the only time I have an of empathy, but it's still stealing. Well, anyway, I noticed she's stealing, so I'm looking around for some of the people that I know that work there so that I can just alert them and say something, and I can't find anybody. I went up and talked to her. I made small talk with her, and you know, she looked clean. She had lipstick on. She was friendly. She was nice. And I kept like doubting myself, like, what? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm going to check you out. And everybody can see that. We're going to share that and get you lots of people, yay, following you. So anyway, I'm like, you know what? I hear the kids in my background, Mom, stop being a cop. Stop being a cop. You know, don't worry about it. Don't, you know, and everything. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave her alone and whatever. And so I was looking at some ladies' tops, and she goes up to sit in this chair, and it's Goodwill's fault to begin with. They have this chair sitting right by the door. And she's like, oh, I'm so tired. And she goes and sits down. And she might have sat there for maybe 5 minutes. And I looked up, and she was at her car. Wait. Posh is sure finds for you, darn, couldn't get sure. Oh, wait. Who am I? I am Soho Posh. I don't know. I'm pretty much, I think, Soho Posh on everything but eBay, and it's Soho Posh. I can't remember. It makes me mad that I could not have just Soho Posh. Soho Posh Shop, Soho Posh Delivered. That's what it is on there. So the lady walks to her car with her cart, buggy full of everything, and puts it in her trunk. I am fuming. I'm almost on my way out to talk to her, and I noticed one of the girls. So I happened to say something to the girl, and she went and got the manager, and they all know me there. And the woman came back in, and the manager told me, she goes, oh, that's what they do. she goes, when they get away with it once, they just come right back in and they load up their cars. I'm like, why am I paying for stuff? Why am I paying for things when I can just put them in my buggy and my cart and walk right out and put them in my car and you're not going to do anything about it? But I guess they have loss prevention. And loss prevention, like for all the different stores, and they watch, they get their plate, they know where they live, and I guess they watch out for them. I don't know, but I was kind of mad. I was just a bit mad about it. But she saw me talking to the manager and she hightailed it out of there, so I don't know. Okay. I see the difference. Okay. Sure finds for you. See, that's better than what I had to do. Soho Posh delivered, then Soho Posh, Soho Posh. But my email is Soho Posh shop because I couldn't get Soho Posh. And I didn't want to do like Soho Posh 22 or something like that, so I will look for you. It's just frustrating. Who has my name? I also wanted to get a website, you know, sohoposh.com, .whatever, .net. They're all gone. So somebody is swiping all of my stuff. And if you want to write to me, yeah, sohoposhshop@gmail.com. And I just recently, because I have had several websites and I'm stopped paying on one. And I need to make sure my one website is not connected, because today was the last day after 500 days of warnings. No, that's still up. After today, your account's going to be locked. After today. This went on for months. This is your final notice today, supposedly. So I'm going to go look and see. You know how it's hard to find save. Where's my saved sellers? There you are, saved sellers. See, but it doesn't let you search for them. I will do this. We will find it. Let me see if it comes up. Did you work today? I did. And then I went today, like I said, to that Goodwill, and they brought out the last rack, and I was going to leave, and then they brought out one more rack, and I was like, oh, let me go. Everybody was kind of grumpy there today. I don't know why. And so I went out, and the last rack, it was like Tommy Bahama, like women's dresses, like summer dresses. So I picked up all 3 of those. And then there were 3 brands I didn't know, but I picked them up. And then there was a white denim jacket, and I left it. And then I went back and I actually lifted up the collar, and it had this beautiful design on the collar. I didn't even notice it had the design on the back. And I picked it up, came home and comped it, because I can take stuff back there. $160 comped. Yuck. You don't go to people's homes, right? You don't do that. That's one thing that stopped me from transitioning to, yeah, nope. I was like, no, I'm not going in their home. I will offend people. And I don't want to offend anybody. And not because I look down my nose, but some of their living conditions aren't the best. So I will show you guys maybe tomorrow the brands. Oh, good, because yeah. Does anyone go to homes anymore? I'm wondering, like, for safety. I know a lot of my inmates would get in trouble because they didn't have a home plan after being released from prison. So, yeah. So they would always, like, their probation officer would violate them because they didn't have a home plan. So, you know, that was always kind of a frustrating thing. Trisha, hey. Ugh, I wouldn't want to go into their homes. Trisha, I'm already done, girl. Nobody got the notice, I guess. But hey, Trisha, if you want the 10 top mistakes for new resellers, I'll send it to you. It's really actually very good. I had a little bit of AI help with it, but it's really nice. So I was going to send it out to anybody who wants it. Yeah, in St. Louis, yeah, I wouldn't, Spanish Lake, I wouldn't want to go into any of those areas. And, you know, it was getting bad enough in little suburbia and even here, you know, and we live in this wonderful community here. It just has its problems too. So everywhere does. Oh, yeah. Well, I couldn't carry in the jail. So I was pretty much unprotected. I had a taser. That was about it. So I used my words, my big girl words. So don't be a hoarder. It is. Well, that was actually number 9 is don't stockpile. But I liked the list. The list was nice, and I did cover some of the mistakes that I personally have made, especially my 11 bin mistake when I first got into reselling. But I'll send it to you. I can tell you real fast, a refresher. But not researching before buying, oh my gosh. And I asked if anybody knows how to make a character. I bet I could do it even with AI, but a comp. Not like Pac-Man, but we need a character, a comping character, because it would just be so cute when people in the threads and stuff and they ask, and we just put up the comping character. So, yep. Ignoring the item's conditions, listing dirty, damaged, or incomplete items without full disclosure, bad photos, using dark, blurry, or cluttered photos that turn buyers away. I also put stock photos in there. I don't like stock photos, so. Linda, I'll send it to you. I'm glad you're here. Overpricing or underpricing, but again, if you comp, those things will help you. No return policy or no clear terms. Inconsistent listing habits. That took me a long time because I was working. So it took me a long time. Stockpiling, ignoring customer service. Now I know there's some people out there that won't respond to anybody. I try to answer everything, even the ridiculous stuff. And what I'm actually doing now is I'm saving ridiculous comments, and I'm going to do a whole video on the ridiculousness of some of the things that people ask. Or I get so frustrated with, what's the inseam? It's in the description. So I try not to be snarky about it because I can become kind of snarky, and I just copy the whole description and I send it to them, and I said, here, I copied it for you, it's in the description. And then I tell them happy shopping, happy thrifting. Oh, and I also told you guys to get a Q-tip. Get a Q-tip and put it like wherever. If you want to put it on your computer or wherever you process, quit taking it personal. Chris at Peak actually said this to me, and I went and got a Q-tip and I put it because I was taking something personal, something, I can't remember what happened. I think it was the international sale that he tried to say the item was ruined and eBay would not send the item back, and yet refunded him. I was furious. I was so mad, and I've never had that happen before. But so now I have a Q-tip, and it always reminds me to quit taking it personal. Oh man, I heard there were shelf clouds down there. Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Hall, y'all. I was watching it. We need storms. I mean, you see it, like I am sweating and I'm in my house with air conditioning, but it's just so humid. I think like you go outside and it's just like the air, it's like right in your face. And I have things I want to do outside and I can't. They're saying tomorrow night, the humidity is supposed to break. We're supposed to get some storms. I hope. But I don't know. But that is it. Actually, one of the Tommy Bahamas that I bought had a stain, like right here, but they were priced so reasonable. I'm like, I can get that out. So I took the tags off and I'm gonna get that stain out. Yeah, like there'll be times I'll be sitting here. Well, yesterday I tried to open the window a couple times, and it's like my air conditioning knew that I had the window open because it wasn't open for very long and it kicked on. I was like, dang it. I can't, I'm not an air conditioning person. I'm not a stuck in the house with the windows closed person. This is just not me. I'm like, come on, I want to open my windows. I love storms. My kids, when they were little, we would sit on the front porch and we had a swing and it kind of faced where most of the storms would come in. And we would sit on that swing until we couldn't sit there anymore and we would just watch the storms come in. They talk about that a lot. And now my son with his children, well, his one daughter, because she's old enough and she's afraid of storms, but he takes her outside and they sit on their front patio. And he talks about the storms and talks about when he was younger and how his mom made him sit on the front porch to watch the storms. I love the ocean and I love storms because of the power. They're just amazing. Yeah, I have lost a few items that I thought that I could get the item out, like the stain out, and no. And at one, it's like, what do you have to lose? You can go to bleach, especially if it's white, because it's kind of like, you're going to end up tossing this thing anyway. So I had one pair. It was a mother jeans, and they were like a green, like not a mint green, but they were like a green color. And they had a blue, it was a bigger spot on the pocket. And I took a chance and I bought them. I think they were like $7. And I brought them home, just so sure of myself I could get that out. And I think what happened was it was a Post-it. And the Post-it, like they washed it with Post-it in it. I tried everything. In fact, the combination that I used, I actually bleached the jeans. They were done. I had to take a loss. So I start out with Shout. It is my #1 cleaner. If Shout doesn't work and then I want to wash it again, I use Dawn and Grandmother's Stain Remover. And I also have Pink, the pink cleaner from, I believe it's from the UK or London. And I'm serious, if that doesn't work, I'm like full on bleach. Why not? Especially if it's white. But I can actually get the collar ring off of most shirts. And I'm pretty proud of that fact. So I can just, when it's the ring, I take the Dawn and I spread it all around. And then I use the pink stuff and I put the pink stuff over top of it. And then I let it sit probably for a day or two. I don't touch it. I don't do anything. And then before I wash it, I spray it down a little bit more, kind of get it wet. and I wash it, and almost always I can get that ring out. I'm just like kind of impressed with the fact that I can do that. Yeah, the grandmother's is really good. I just, from work, I got 2 Coach bags that were, one was stained on the outside. The other one was really stained on the inside, like makeup or I don't know what. It was ugly. And they let me bring them home to play with them to see if I can clean them. Of course, they're going to sell them, but I get to learn how to clean things. And if I ruin it, it doesn't matter. So I sprayed that thing with Grandma's and Dawn soap, and I let it sit for like 2 or 3 days. And then I went back and I did Dawn soap, and I can't remember. I think it was just Dawn soap, and rubbed it in and let it sit. I probably did that for a week. And then I took the entire bag and I soaked it in a Dawn bath, Dawn and water, and soaked it for probably about 20 minutes. Do you know it all came out? That bag looked beautiful. And I have never soaked a Coach bag before, but it came out. In fact, we priced it, and it's probably been sold by now, but I was like very amazed. Fella soap, that is I think they have that at Walmart. Yeah, I have such a process for doing it. I do it and I let it sit for 2 or 3 days, and then I come back to it. And even if it sits longer, it doesn't matter. And then I come back and I kind of soak it again, and then I wash it, and it comes out every time. I think there was only one time when I think it was cotton. It was a cotton polo Ralph Lauren, and I couldn't get it off, and I was mad because I tried really hard. But polyester and nylon are the easiest to clean because those are, I guess that fiber doesn't breathe per se, and so the stain sits on top of it, and it's easier to remove, where cotton, I guess, is a breathable fabric, and it sucks the stain like into it. So the things we learn as a reseller. Fella soap, I think I have seen that at Walmart. And I think, don't like the old timers, like that's kind of what they used when they hand washed and used the wringer and stuff, and they would scrub it with that soap. Is that what I'm thinking of? Is that what it is? But I will get that. And I bought some stain removers for purses. So, yeah, just trying to get it done. I wonder, I mean, to me, it doesn't have, why not, you know? And then even like shoes, I have leather cleaners and leather repair, you know, to add moisture back into it. I watched those guys on probably, I think it's Facebook, that do the Louis Vuittons and the Coach bags, and they find them at thrift stores and then they repair them. Oh my gosh. And the old, like the real Coach bags made of that awesome leather. Oh, I actually want to find one for me. And actually I've seen them where I thrift, but I can't buy, they price them up too high for me to buy them to resell. So, man, K-Way knows it all. He really does. He is like full body in as far as reselling and knowing things. Yeah. Yeah, my top 3 have always been K-Way, Surf's Up, and Chris at Peak. But then I started following, hold on, I wrote them down like I should know. Justin Resells, he's local here. He always reminds me of a a news commentator because he just kind of sits and he's got this demeanor about himself, you know, the way he carries himself and how he talks. Commonwealth, I like him a lot because he gives a different perspective to things. He's like a balance to me for everything else that I listen to. Tuition Ain't Cheap. I follow her because I want to learn more about like perfumes and things. And I'm just surprised when she pulls a comb out of her little stockpile, and this comb sells for $23 and it looks like some plastic, you know, whatever. And the Loot, I watch him. I like his demeanor as well. He sells shoes. I kind of just like him because of his demeanor. I like the way he talks. He's very down to earth, gives great advice. And then Loot and Company, I just kind of started following them. And those are my tops. That's what I listen to right now. But I'm not on like TikTok as much as I was, so she does. And she loves those estate sales. I laughed when I saw her last video where she had like, I forget how much, like $1,000 or $600 in perfumes in this one sale. And I was like, was she in St. Louis? Because that last sale I went to, they had tons of really cool perfume and perfume bottles, and they were all gone by the time I got, like there wasn't even a hint of anything left. It was all gone. So I missed out on all of that. Yeah, you know what, Carolyn, I mean, you're welcome. Like Justin Resells, I absolutely hands down follow him. Even though he's local to me, he has great advice. He has a lot of things that, you know, you wouldn't think sell. He doesn't sell so much clothing, but he sells other things. And good advice, really good advice. Ooh, Michigan. Boo, Michigan. So funny. Guess I can't watch her anymore. And let's see. Commonwealth. Is it Commonwealth Picker? I get so used to calling them by what they are. Like Surf's Up. I know he has another, and I just call him Surf's Up because that's it. But I like Commonwealth. I liked the other night he had a really good video on about finding a niche. Like sell everything that you sell, but find a niche, become an expert at one thing. And he was like, I don't care if it's an expert on brooches or teacups or, you know, whatever. And he talked about 3 friends of his that have niches, but they also sell on everything. And some of them do to eBay stores, which he doesn't agree with. And I don't agree with that either. That's just too much. But, and I was talking to my son and I was like, how do I find my niche? And he suggested something and I'm like, yeah, but I don't like that. I mean, I like it and it was part of my life for a long time. It was cameras. It was, and he goes, but you were so knowledgeable about the camera. He bought one at an estate sale and he had me look at it and I found some things. Nothing like spell check, right? What happened to, oh my gosh, what was his name? Creek, Long Creek, something Creek. I never see him on anymore. Yeah, like squirrel, right? I don't know if I had a niche, if it would, it could be cameras because I spent my life with cameras so much when I was a professional photographer. Tea is another one. I love talking about tea. And I would have to say probably handbags. But none of those really hit here for me. So I will find a way. Yeah, I wonder about those boutiques. They have a new Goodwill opening up in, well, actually, the city that I used to work in. It's a big, big store. And I think it was scheduled to open in March and then May, then now July. So I don't know whether I haven't driven by. I just, I don't like going into that town anymore. I just go to the post office and run out. That's it. Line Creek, yeah. Where's he been? I have not seen him in a while. I seen when he started doing Whatnots, and when he was doing the Squishmallow Whatnots, and then like that was it, and I hadn't seen him after that. I want to go back home and go to the Goodwill back home now that like I know what I'm doing, and just kind of wonder, um, is there anything good there? But back home is so, it's just sad. It's just so sad what's happened out there, you know. So I don't know, just like 60% unoccupied homes. It's just bad. Yeah, Lion Creek I don't see on anymore. That's really the only one that in the beginning I would watch a lot. Dealing with Dalton, but I don't really do shoes too much. But I like when he does do a live, I like watching him. Sometimes I just like watching people because of their demeanor, you know? Um, who's the one sensationalist? It's always like these crazy headlines that draw you in. I can't think of who that is. But maybe I don't need to say. Because I'm just a little fish. Little fish should not eat big fish. Or talk about big fish. But that's it. Got my list. Shared my stories. Have I made mistakes? Yes. I made so many mistakes. A lot of my mistakes have to do with not taking my time. I'd have to say. Definitely not taking my time. And I think I do that now too, as I try to slow down. I no need to type 500 words a minute. I can just slow it down. Slow it down. And I still have to find you, Caroline. I can't find you on, but I haven't given it a good college try yet either. Oh, not next week, the week after. Might be a little sketchy. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it. I'm going to go babysit my son's dog. I do it every year. I love doing it. I get away from here for a while because he lives about 35 minutes away. I come back home every couple of days, but I have neighbors that watch my house and my everything for me. But I get to go on dog walks. I think it's the coolest thing ever. And the dog is, he's a pit bull mix. He's black. He's strong, but he's smart, and he likes me. Yeah, I do watch Beard Thrifter too. Beard Thrift Machine. And there's another one. There's two of them. And I used to get one is a cop. One used to be a cop. Is that Bearded? No, I think it's the other one that I watch. Hold on. We're going to have to get into this now. I have to figure it out. Whoop. And now I have to find a thing for behind me. I'm seeing myself on that's actually weird that I can see myself. I gotta find a thing for back behind here. That's definitely what I have to do. Eventually I'm gonna get like really professional and like get a whole setup. But because I do the whole clamshell thing, I can't use this. Well, this camera won't work on here, so. But while I'm at my son's, I can, because I won't be clamshelling. I'll just be using my computer. And when I take the dog for walks, I can do walk and talks because Roman's pretty cool. It's funny, he reminds me of an inmate. So do the dogs that he fights, because the dogs will be behind a fence and he's like just so aggressive, and they're both like barking at each other like crazy. And I think, like, you know, you walk by and then if it's at a fence where they can see, they're like, yeah, cool, we're cool, you know, because my inmates used to be like that, like behind what is it, 4-inch steel. And they're like, you know, like, just let him out, just let him out. I'll show him. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. That's what we're gonna do. It's easy to be, what do I want to say, big, tough, and strong when there's no way that you have to be big, tough, and strong. So tomorrow I vol and thrift. Fingers crossed that I find some good stuff. I found 2 Missy Lanes and a Lily Pulitzer dress. But they had it marked as new. Now see, I can't sell it as new because it doesn't have the tags. And I don't know how they got it. I bet it either came in the bag or something, because they usually won't mark something new if it isn't. But I can't, because I don't have proof that it's new. So, but I always say pre-owned looks new, looks just new. I can do that. I will take them with me because they're right here. I will do that. I don't know why they get hot, and I don't know if they need an upgrade. Like, I will sit these out and I will look into that tomorrow, that maybe they need upgraded or something. Oh, it'll be fun. Roman's a good dog. He can be scary if he wants to, but he likes me. So, and my other son has a dog, and they have to keep him caged a lot because of the baby, so he doesn't knock the babies over. But he's like Wild Thing, you know. He's getting better, but he's massive. He's a golden retriever, and he just doesn't know how, like, he just like pushes up against you and you move. I mean, he's just really solid. And he's still such a big puppy, even though he's over a year old. But, okay, I'm doing things here. Who is it that I follow? I'll go to YouTube. That's where it'll be. Can you hear that when that happens, or do I just hear that? I want to look to see my subscriptions and see who. Okay, here we go. Commonwealth Flipper. That's who he is. Chris at Peak. Jason Hayes, you know, when he's on. Bearded, Thrift Machine, and then who is the other one? Maybe it is Bearded that was the police officer. I got Nashville Flipper in here. I don't follow him that much. I will have to figure that out. I thought there's Bearded and there's somebody who is like Bearded. And one of them is a former police officer who made the big choice of getting out. Good for him. Is it Bearded? So there's Beard Thrift Machine. Isn't that Bearded? No, they're 2 different people. That's weird. It's getting dark outside. Okay, so that's it. I think it's Bearded Thrift Machine was the, I quit a 10-year-long career. Yeah, that's Bearded Thrift Machine is the former police officer. Which makes me laugh every time I see him. I was like, you were You were? He mentions it in a couple of his videos. He doesn't say it often. It's kind of like being a Marine. Once a cop, always a cop. Marines probably won't like me saying that. That's so funny. I have a friend who was a lieutenant and she just retired and she was going home and she saw a police officer and she stopped and went, I'm not a cop anymore. And she's not. She actually is retired. But I think, you know what? I think she went down and she's in admin now, working in the juvenile department. So, I don't know. Yeah. So bearded and Surf's Up, they take off. Yeah, I followed her in the beginning. And there was another one, Juliette Fines, but she switched to like what geez, why am I having a hard time? I can see faces and everything, but doing the TikTok selling. I think that's her name, Juliette Fines. She went on the big weight loss journey and then she switched from reselling to the other. Mellow State is good. There's a lot of good ones to follow. And if you want to learn anything, like I said, just put it in the search thing. Like want to, you know, resell shoes. And a whole bunch of people come up and hopefully you find the right ones. I mean, there's some that, who is that one? Oh, I turned it off. But there's a guy, he has like tons of viewers. And he's always in a white room, like a white room, the corner behind him. And he always just like talks about the mechanics of reselling. Oh, I like that. Oh yeah. And you know what? Yeah. And like now, and I feel really bad, but I rarely ever catch anybody live anymore. Because most of the time it's during the day and I'm not here. And I'm out thrifting or volun thrifting. But I always try to catch the replays, and sometimes I'm 2 or 3 behind and I try to catch up and watch them all because I want to support them, you know, because they help me so much. So I keep like that. Yeah, Ethan. Is it dealing? Who's dealing with Dalton then? Or is it dealing with Ethan? I don't know. Oh man, yeah. That's another one. Big Apple Thrifter. I haven't seen him for a while either. I'm trying to think. I like watch most of them just on YouTube. And I have my YouTube subscribers. And then I'll just go through and all the ones that have like the little dot, I know that I missed something. And sometimes, like I think Chris at Peak, he doesn't do so many lives, but he does the little shorts, you know, everywhere. And I usually catch those because he puts them on like some of the pages and I'll see those. But I think what Surfs, he does a lot. And of course, K-Way, you know, there's always a ton. Reseller, chick, hubby, and wife. Who's that? Are they the ones that do the live TikTok things all together and like they're on late at night? I got sucked into that one night. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. There wasn't a whole lot of reselling talk. Does he? Because I only see him, I just see him doing the shorts. You know, like when he's in the store, he has to feel so comfortable in those stores that he's in. And I'll tell you what he needs to do. He needs to do more interviewing of resellers. Man, was that interview so good with K-Way. Man, I was so impressed with how good that was. and even more impressed because they know each other and they're friends. But I don't know. I really think he should do more of those. And, whenever he's traveling and try to catch up with people, he needs to do surfs. He can do bearded, you know, other people. And then his whole coverage of, the damage and stuff done to his hometown, man. So he does lives, but aren't they like, because I never see him. Is he not, maybe not lives on TikTok? Because I only see him like once in a while. He does. And comfortable behind the camera. Yeah, I like it. I was like, he needs to do more of those. Plus, I liked it. It was very, I felt sorry for Kayla. She's sitting there eating her food and he's talking to her and she's like, I'm just trying to eat my eggs here. But it was real. And you can't beat real. And I can't wait to see their new house. I don't know if they bought it yet or not, but oh my gosh. If anybody that I know who has worked so hard for their house, it's those two. And they deserve whatever they get because, man, they hustled their butts off for that. I did too. Actually, I had sold some things and I just donated the money from the things that I had sold, not on Marketplace, not on eBay or any of those. Yeah, see, and I'm never here for them. And I always, I like to be live, but it's okay. Catching up with them is fun too, so I can do that. Yeah, so that would be 10 for me, and I'm usually out the door by about 9. Well, definitely. But you know what? I looked at the calendar for the next coming. I don't think on Mondays I'm going to be doing a whole lot because there just isn't a lot out there for me to go. I couldn't even imagine, like when he showed all the suffering, and then of course he still says how, it's still not, how many months later, 8 months now or 9 now, just unbelievable. But yeah, the sale at that Monday place that I go in the morning, they're like next week is, I think it's 25% off, no, 50% off jackets and blazers. They're pretty much already picked through. I doubt highly they're going to get that much in a week, so I'm not going out on Monday. I may go out the Monday after that for 50% off all pants and then head down to Brentwood and see if forgot her name already. I'm actually trying to catch her on, I did catch part of her Whatnot the other night, and then she was supposed to have one tonight and she didn't. But yeah, try to catch up with her. And I'm hoping that Dara will be there too. I hope Dara did not give up on reselling. I hope I see her again. Yeah, I just catch up on him on like I know Justin, he is only on Monday afternoons or evenings, and it's always recorded. So it's only on Mondays, and that's all he does. But I like it because it's informative. And then he does this really cool thing. He just kind of fell into it, where I think accidentally one time the lights went out, and then he talked about a recipe or something, and then it became a thing. Everybody loved the lights out. So at the end of his videos, the lights go out, and he goes, now that the lights are out, let's talk about something interesting. It's just so funny. And it just has become a thing now. So he does it with every video. My son's actually seen him out and about. My son said, what's he look like? What do I think he looks like? And I said, probably short and frumpy. He's not. But that's what I thought he looked like. Yeah, I noticed that. I try to always respond back, no matter what. I might be a day or two late, because sometimes I miss it, but I try to always respond because, I mean, that's all part of it. That's why you do what you do, you know? And obviously, I can't talk that long anymore. I don't know. My throat is. So get your Q-tips and get your list. Linda, I'll send this to you. Shoot me your email, Linda, because I don't think I have it. Linda, vacationing on the ocean, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get the girls that I volunteer with to go on a group trip to Destin. I'm getting them all geared up. I'm like, we got to do this. Number one, it'd be a blast. We started a crocheting club where we sit around and talk most of the time, but it's fun. It's fun to be around other people. I will always comment back. I don't care how big I get. I will always respond. I respond to my buyers. I will respond to people who follow me. I will respond to my friends. And that reminds me, I have to respond to a young lady. I did not go to her baby shower on Saturday, but I had a gift for her. It just didn't work out. I actually kind of forgot timing and I missed it and I feel bad. So I have to get in touch with her and tell her I have a gift. I don't know how to get it to her though. I feel bad about that. All right, ladies, gentlemen, if you're out there at all, I am going to go and, oh, I am Soho Posh Shop. Yeah, Soho Posh Shop at gmail.com. So you can just send it to me and then I will send you, it's just a PDF. It's not, but I like it. It's very informative. And it's just something to kind of keep up to remind you, you know? You know, like Carolyn number 9, start listing. And I'm gonna try to find you, Caroline. And Linda, if you have, like, show me your closets. You know, your closets, your stores, whatever you have, eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, so whatever, so I can follow you guys and I can support you. So I have Carolyn's, so I need Linda's. And Linda, if you are not listing yet, you need to. Just saying. It's all part of it. It's all part of the fun. Get your feet all wet. Ooh, and I have to go water my grass. Who decides to plant grass in the sweltering heat? So now I have to go out and water it, but it's growing. And then I'm gonna get zoysia grass. I'm gonna try to buy some plugs and put plugs in this little, I made the, it's not complete, I have to go buy some stones because I can't find any more. But I made a waterfall from the downspout. And then of course I made a mess and had to dig up some of the grass. So now I'm replanting grass. It's gonna look so cool when it's done. Well, you have my email, so you send it to me. Because I couldn't find it, but eBay does not make it easy to search for sellers. Like, I have a saved sellers list. Save sellers. But it doesn't have, like, how do I find them? Oh my gosh, Carolyn, go walk. I'm gonna go water my plants. Linda, go enjoy the ocean. I'm jealous. I am, just saying, just a little jealous. But I can be jealous, it's okay. If I go to Italy next year, y'all can be jealous. My daughter and I are working on a trip. We want to go to Italy, so. Yeah, I don't know how to find people then. Shopping, oh wait, shop by category. Nope. I thought maybe it would drop down there too. Like brands, categories, seasons. There has to be a way. Are you? To go walk? Jersey Shores? Oh, okay. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I live off a lake. So, in fact, I was just thinking about it. I have not been kayaking yet, so I need to get out on the lake. Yeah, but you sell on there, right? So you would still be a seller, but I don't get it. Like save sellers, but it won't let me search for them. There is a way. I got more feedback. If we make it, we are going to do our own little journey. We'll see what happens. If we get lost, we might call for help too. Oh, ooh, you know how, can you feel it? That time when like, I don't know what happens, but it's just like all of a sudden you can just feel like it just get darker. It's so cool. I can feel it. I love kayaking. I like the sit on. In fact, I want to buy my own this year. But it's like such a process. I can buy my own, but then I have to buy the cross racks for the car, and then I have to buy the kayak racks, and then I have to be able to lift it up. Then I have to be able to store it. And I need a new life jacket this year because the one I have is dorky and I don't want to wear it anymore. So, but I live off the lake and I can always rent theirs and just go anytime I want. But I want my own. I want my own. So. Oh my gosh. Yeah, come on, girl. Jump in with us. Get your feet wet again. Kayaking is fun. And so is pickleball. I did that last year too. All right, I'm going to go because pretty soon you're not going to be able to see me anymore because my light is back behind there. I will talk to you guys later. I appreciate you guys so much. I love our being able to chit chat here and talk. When Linda gets back from the ocean, we'll talk more. She will. I know she will. But yeah, send me your emails and I will send you the list. Get your Q-tip. Quit taking it personal. It's always a reminder for me. You guys have a good night. Carolyn, go for your walk. I'm going to go water plants. Bye.